Over the past several months, I've been warning you guys about these false YouTube teachers and preachers and false visions and messages that have been pushed forth. And what has really grieved my spirit and burned my soul from within is watching these famous pastors and leaders and people in high places that call themselves Christian and where they're going with things right now. They still are pushing a false narrative that the election was stolen, and no Christian of these popular evangelical leaders are standing up. I go through the videos. I spent hours watching videos of leaders talking crazy. Sid Roth is a guy from India. I mean, there's people. Billy Graham. Swaggart's son, where he has this letter to Trump and all of this stuff. And as I told you before, these messages that they're preaching, it's not the gospel. It's only about Trump, political. And we've jumped our nose in the political arena and have fallen away from the gospel. And guess what? January the 20th, your time is up. I believe God's judgment is going to come upon those that have been pushing this false narrative and destroying souls. These pastors that are leading this nation astray, you're going to be set down. The judgment of God is going to come upon you. And if you are on Facebook or any of these media platforms, YouTube, pushing false visions for money, pushing false narratives, having people go down a dark rabbit hole, God's going to hold you accountable. I have a couple of scriptures here that I want to read. Let me look here on the computer. I have my notes, some notes, as you always guys know I have notes, but I broke the laptop out since I got a chance to really spend some time here. And let's see, Deuteronomy 18:20. It says, but a prophet who presumes to speak in the name of anything I have not commanded, or a prophet who speaks in the name of other gods, is to be put to death. That's the Old Testament. And we'll get into a death penalty message maybe down the road, because that's the thing, that's a whole nother message there before believers and things. But as you just mentioned, God was serious when it came to people preaching false messages and coming not in the name of the Lord, but coming in the name of self and anything else. Ezekiel 13:9. My hand will be against the prophets who see false visions and utter lying divinations. They will not belong to the council of my people to be listed in the records of Israel, nor will they enter the land of Israel. Then you will know that I'm your sovereign Lord. You see how serious God is about playing around with his message? Let me give you another one. Jeremiah 14:14. Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets are prophesying lies in my name. I have not sent them, or appointed them, or spoken to them. They are prophesying to you false visions, divinations, I can't say that properly, idolatries, and delusions of their own mind. And there's so many more. Let's see what I got down here. Luke 6:26. Woe unto you, everyone speaks well of you, for how the ancestors treated the false prophets. See, these false teachers, pastors right now that are pushing this message saying that, they were doing it before the election. I told you about a message where they said the archangels fight. There was a guy talking about the archangel fighting for the election, and the Lord is going to bring this turnaround about for this election. And I'm still see messages, fresh new messages produced daily by faith leaders talking about they had this dream. I think on the Sid Roth, it was something about the Christmas miracle. That the things are going to change before the Christmas time come. The India guy, I don't even know his name, but he was talking about anything can happen. Anything can happen from November the 3rd up until January 20. Anything can change is what he says. And I believe that Trump is the man, and this is this vision, and I had this vision. I've had these dreams, and you hear this from people. This is false. It's a lie. Satan is having a field day with the church, with leaders, and these pastors that are out here deceiving the people. And guess what? January the 20th, when you see that Trump is not in office, and when you see that God has set him down, because I believe that God had enough. He saw where this nation was going. We try to make the Trump crowd tries to make like, oh, Trump was appointed by God to save the nation and this and that for this appointed time, and he's still got work to do. No, he doesn't. God said, guess what? Morals matter. Character matters. My people matter. I'm setting him down because if you do not get your eyes off of him, you're going to fall and walk the plank and fall off into the lake. Just like I talked about in another message, walking the plank. But this plank you're going to walk is going to be the plank walking into the lake of fire, because God has reserved a place just for the false prophets and those that have denied Christ, those that have turned their backs and don't want anything to do with the Lord because they're so focused on self-missions, self-this, focused on loving the world. But he told us to love not the world, nor the things that are in the world, because this world is passing away. But these false leaders, there's a place for you. I'm telling you, things are going to change come January the 20th with a lot of these leaders. I told you God is going to set some of you down. He is not going to be happy. And if you still have time. As long as you got breath in your body, you still have time. But guess what? God is, we forget. We always talk about God and his love and how kind and loving he is and how forgiving he is. But we forget that God is a judge also. Jesus is a judge. The great white throne judgment. You will stand before him. Unsaved, if you don't know the Lord, you will stand, and even us believers, we're going to have to still stand, and not at the great white throne judgment, but we will stand and have to give an account for the deeds that we've done. Were we supposed to be doing the work that he's called us to do? We're going to have to answer to that. We will have to answer to these things. And these false prophets, January 20th, I got the hourglass up because, Lord have mercy on you. Because when that glass runs out, you are walking. Because it's a dangerous thing. Let me say this. It's a dangerous thing to not walk under the protection of God. It is dangerous when his hand is not upon you. And if you were once walking in his way, and now that you call yourself a leader, a pastor, or a leader over a flock of some sort, he's going to remove his hand from you. And I would not want to be in your shoes. So repent while you can. And if you are following these type of people, get off of there. Turn that channel, erase that channel, unsubscribe, get away from it. Because you're being deceived and going to walk the plank right with them if you're not careful. So that's all I have for right now. I have other messages that'll be coming up, but hit like if you like this video. Subscribe if you're new to this channel, because we like to talk about issues that the church don't talk about and take Satan head on in his devices. Until next time, take care, my friends. God bless.